What up, YouTube? It's your man Truth. Got another video for you guys today. Something that crossed my mind. An issue that I wanted to address is talk about being in the friend zone for guys, man. But if you guys could do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment on the video. It definitely helps me in the algorithm, so I can definitely grow this channel. Like I said, trying something new for 2025. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the friend zone, right? So what exactly would we consider the friend zone, right? So the friend zone to me would be not necessarily a mutual friendship, right? Because a lot of people claim, I personally, 9 times out of 10 and 9.5 times out of 10, I don't believe that there's a such thing between platonic friendship. I mean, that's just been my personal experience. I could be wrong. Everybody claims that they're the exception to the rule. But majority of the time, people who claim they are the exception to the rule, they're either A, lying, I believe, or B, they don't realize that other person really likes them, but they're playing the role. All right, so the friend zone to me is that you like a person and romantically, and they don't look at you, they look at you platonically, right? And I would suggest to every guy out there, if you romantically like a woman, just leave it alone. Get out the friend zone. This is not a video telling you how to get out the friend zone. A lot of guys are, hopeless romantics, and they believe that, if I do this or do that, I'm gonna get out the friend zone. The best thing I can tell you about that part of it, is just speak your mind. Say what you want to say. And, it's not reciprocated, then you're not going to waste any more of your time. Stop being scared to walk away from the situation or lose that person, because all it is going to be mental and physical, well, not physical, hopefully not, but mental and emotional torture, because here you are with a person that you're into, you like, and all you have to do is sit there and listen to them, pine on about, other people that they like. So the best thing you do is just put it on out there. That's the best thing you do. Put it on out there. Hey, I'm trying to do X, Y, Z. I like you like that. I'm trying to do something with you. Whatever the way you decide to come out your mouth. Hopefully it's not awkward. We'll put it out there. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that it's going to work. You might get shot down. But I wanted to address this topic because a lot of guys spend all this time and energy being someone else's, emotional crutch, right? I'm not gonna use the other word I normally use, but you guys get the picture. Something that she plugs and plays with, right? Not that type of plug and play, but she plugs in, and when she's having her time in the moment, you're becoming an emotional that. Basically, she just dumps all her emotional waste on you, right? So if she's having a tough day, she dumps that on you. If she's having a breakup with the boyfriend, she dumps it on you. Guy she likes doesn't like her back, she dumps it on you. Her guy's cheating on her, she dumps it on you. And you're just sitting there soaking it up, and she's like, oh, he's just the best friend, and he cares about me. One day you'll find someone that really loves you for you. Well, guys, when you hear that, if this chick can say all these great qualities about you, but she still can't date you, you're in the friend zone hard, okay? Let her go. Immediately, do not waste another moment on her, okay? Not waste another moment. Because the only time, I feel like it works for guys is if she's in the friend zone, right? Most of the time, if she's in the friend zone, she can't get herself out. That means you have her at your disposal, just like that woman does. Now, a lot of guys who are top tier, or not even have to be top tier. You just on a higher level than she is. You can have her in the friend zone, and she'll try to claw her way out, and she'll be like, I just don't understand. Like the guy's definition of a friend zone is a little bit different, because we are a little bit more sexually charged than women are. So our version of the friend zone is a friends with benefits situation, right? You got a girl that you don't ever commit to, and because for a guy, we can give physical without having being emotionally attached, right? And for a girl, she can give emotions without being physically attached. All right, and because we move in different ways. So, like I said, for a guy, if he's on a higher tier than her, he'll string her along as far as he'll hit her up for late night sessions, or hit up when he doesn't have nothing going on, or hit up when he's bored. And the whole time she's giving her physical self to him, and she's not getting anywhere emotional with him. And the same thing, you got a girl who's giving you the emotional side of her, like you get to see her cry and all these things, but she's never giving you the physical. You're in the friend zone. The opposite truth. I would say this to anybody: remove yourself from the friend zone. If you're not getting what you want out of a relationship or a friendship or whatever, or situationship, whatever ship you want to say it is, if that ship is not sailing where you want it to go, cut ties, go overboard, catch a different ship, and because you're going to find yourself emotionally drained and wasted, and then you're going to be looking at the end of that situation like, why did I waste all this time with this person? And when you had every opportunity to bail. Get yourself out of the friend zone. This is for my girls and guys. If you're not getting what you want out of a relationship, and you feel like you're doing your part, but you're being strung along and you're being used, and that's the key word. When people always, especially women, defend it. Guys, I think we know we use them. I mean, I can't speak for ladies, but I know guys know that we should be doing better. But the access is available, so it's hard for a guy who has free reign or access to a woman to just throw that to the wolves, unless you find something that you're willing to commit to completely. And that's the time you start cutting ties with a lot of women. For the most part, you're just going to keep it in the corner and keep it going. But you definitely want to cut ties with the person, because if you're on the other end, you're not getting anywhere. Because the people know who they want to be with, right? People know who they want to give that energy to, right? Especially as a guy. When a guy meets a girl that he feels that he wants to be with, he's showing up, he's making time for her, he is, showing a level of commitment towards that person. And for girls, if she meets a guy that she's into, she is available. She ain't trying to deal with nobody else. She's trying to let that guy know, as far as he's concerned, he's the only guy for her. There's not going to be no obliviousness. And the damn sure is not, because she's not going to be telling you about other guys that she's into if she's into you, right? So these guys that are in the friend zone, and I've been there. This is why I'm speaking from experience. I've been there, and I was always, when I was in that situation, I would be scared to say something, because I'm like, well, maybe it's not the right time, or maybe I'm not reading the signals right, or I'd always find an excuse to why I couldn't say anything, right? And at the end of the day, it was years wasted, and and I'd always look at the guy she was dating and be like, oh, well, why she date that guy? I was just being a sucker. You know what I'm saying? I was being a sucker, and I should have cut ties, because at the end of the day, I mean, what did I really do besides split my energy from somebody else that could have been serving it? Like, it was so wild to me. Even when I had other women I was dealing with, right? It wasn't like I was some guy who just didn't have nothing going on. I had other women I was dealing with, but when this particular girl would call, I dropped whatever I was doing, and there'd be no, nothing popping in that area. It would just be us watching movies or watching shows and listening to her complain about these guys. And when she would get a boyfriend, I wouldn't even hear from her. After the boyfriend, whatever the situation would fizzle, then she'd come back around and, commiserate. And I put up with that. And so I learned from my example. I mean, like I said, I after that, I refused to be friends with anybody, especially females, unless I didn't want anything from them. Even then, I still would kind of be, because most of the time when I found that I didn't want anything from them, they wanted something from me, right? I feel like that's just, the dynamic. That's why I say, 95% of platonic friendships are, BS, because I can come in a situation, let's say I meet a woman and I don't want anything from that person, right? Let's say I'm not attracted to them in that way, right? Majority of the time they're attracted to me, which is why I'm able to be unattractive. I don't find them attractive, which they're like, trigger something in them, and now they're attracted to me, and it goes left anyway. I had another situation like that. I did not want to be in a situation with him, and the girl wasn't necessarily unattractive. I just wasn't attracted to her. She just wasn't my cup of tea as far as who I saw myself being with, right? So we can be cool, but that's all it is. And I don't do female friends, so I don't know where that leads you. You can be an associate, and she tried her hardest, for years, and I ended up taking what I wanted from the situation, and she tried hard for years trying to get me to want more from what it is. So I put her in the friend zone, and I can say to myself, I didn't do it maliciously. I just wasn't into her like she was into me, and I was cool with it being what it was, and she wasn't. That's the same thing with a lot of these women on the flip side. They're cool with it being a friendship. You listening to my problems, you spending money on me, going on dates, so now I get to go on dates without having to put out anything at the end of the day. I get to have attention thrown on me without having to do anything on my end. And that's the same thing I was doing to the young lady. I get to get what I want from the situation without have to do anything that I don't want to do, right? I don't have to give you anything in return that you want. So, I feel like once you find yourself in the friend zone and you're not getting what you want from the situation, cut your ties immediately. Because all it's going to cause you is for guys, you're going to lose money, lose time that you can't get back. And you're going to be coming out that thing, sometimes emotionally scarred, because if it's somebody that you really, really like, and then it goes awkward at the end, you're going to be apprehensive for the next relationship. And, for guys, you'll be a lot harder to deal with. You're going to be a little bit more callous when it comes to the next woman. It's just not an overall look, because, I can tell you, if it's a friend or not, right? If it's truly a friend, y'all would go Dutch. Almost all the time. Or you pay for you pay for them. But if you're paying all the time, definitely not your friend. And that's the other side of the friend zone. Most of the time, you're their friend, but they're not your friend. Two, if you start to talk to any of their friends, they have a problem with it, because they want all the attention to themselves. Three, if you start talking to someone else, they get offended. Now they get a little bit possessive, because now that time that you're spending with someone else, that you were spending with them, is now going to someone else, so they become defensive. If you can't rely on them like they can rely on you, it's not your friend. I think a lot of times that's why I also don't believe in platonic friendships, because things that guys would do for each other, very rarely can a female do that for us, right? If I need to move apartments, you coming? You come help me? Some right. There's always gonna be a woman that says, "Oh, I'll come help my friends move stuff. I'm a tomboy." Okay, well, you're the exception to the rule. Most of the time, that guy's not gonna call you to help him move, right? So what's your woman equivalent of that, right? Hey, can you come cook for me? I'm not trying to be sexist or anything like that, but can you come insert feminine quality here for me? You're not doing that, because it's not your man. It's just a friend. When you go out with your homegirls and y'all go to the bar, every time are you paying? Or every time are they paying? If that is the case, they're not your friends either, or you're not their friend. You start to sound more and more like a leech. But if you out with your homeboy, supposedly, and he always paying, or he's always, you never go anywhere he wants to go. You don't do the activities he wants to do, right? That's the other key thing. Like, you're going to see movies that you want to watch. You're going to places that you want to eat. You don't ask him, hey, what are you doing this week? What are you into? Right? That's not your friend. If you got a whole activity, this is speaking to the guys now. If you have a whole activity that she's precluded from, it's probably not your friend, bro. I circle back to my situation. We watched shows that both of us were into, which is what, why the friendship took so long. But, I was catching feelings. And, I never acted on them. So, me catching feelings and never acted on them, when she would, talk about these guys, I'd be a little butthurt. I'm like, man, why you dating these losers? Yeah, here I'm calling losers, but they were winning her, obviously. But I'm looking at them as losers because now that, it's telling me all about all these bad qualities about a guy and be like, oh, Terrell, you're such a good guy, da 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 da. If I was such a good guy, why I can't get you? Obviously, I'm not the guy for you. And don't patronize me. But anyway, once again, guys, I definitely want to bring that to your attention here. What do you guys think? What do you think about the friend zone? Anyway, this is your man Truth. Once again, if you could do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe, and comment on the video if you agree or disagree. All right, guys. Till next time.